Now that we are back, welcome back to some more Stormworks. I'm StormRunner Gaming, and today we actually have the finished SS Tinon, Tinon to be exact, and it is the tanker that I've been working on here for a little while on the build series, and it's looking pretty good. We went with a reddish orange color for the actual hull of it, then we did red for the deck, and then gray to touch up the edges here, and we have a dark gray for the roof there as well. But everything is working on here, and if you guys do want to pick it up, it is on the workshop already, so you guys can go and do some missions or just play around on it. But yeah, I'm going to give you guys the grand tour here. And of course, we have the helipad on the front with working and blinking RGB. And on the back, we have the cargo bay door as well as all these tanks. And we still have that weird glitch, I guess you'd call it, where you can see all the fluids through here. But nonetheless, we also have this crazy long walkway here, I guess, to survey over all the tanks and everything back here. I'm not exactly sure why I put this on here, but a lot of tankers have something like that as well. Of course, they have the control room in the back and all the tanks in the front, but they usually seem to have this like walkway across there. Well, some, not all. But anyway, we're going to jump over, and I can't remember who gave me the idea or actually did this, but somebody gave me the logo, my channel logo actually, so I finally have put it on one of my boats as well. And of course we have the refueling arm crane and a lot of other things out here for the tanker's usability as well. But we can go up to the control room here, and we've got a lot of different things. I don't know if I want to go over everything, but we have crane controls as well as RGB and power management. Then we have the jet and diesel fuel statistics up here with all the values being run. And then we've got, I guess this guy is the wind expert. I don't even know if there's a degree for that, but I'll get to the captain's chair in a second. We do also have engine controls here. You do also have engine controls from the engineering, I guess you'd call it. I was going to say engine room, but yeah, you can just change the values from either side, either up here or down there. But next we have this guy's chair, and all this person has control of is the two spotlights on the top. So they can pivot them, not 360, but left, right, up, and down for both of them. The controls are independent. And then we have the captain's chair, which is able to go up and down here. And we have all of our light controls over here, as well as the radar. And right now the GPS is not working on it, but I need to put that into there because I couldn't get one off the workshop for some reason. But that'll be something that I add in, and I'll refresh the design later on with the GPS on here, so we have an autopilot. But of course we have the displays that can be put down and pop right back up for the captain's convenience on basically everything the captain needs to know while he or she is driving the vessel. And of course we have the commands for the jet engines to produce power over here as well. And if you want to, you can turn off the active stabilization, but that's a big, and especially in waves, you might be able to topple it over if you don't have that active stabilization on, because it will rock. Currently, the active stabilization barely keeps up itself, keeps the ship up itself, because it doesn't have that much weight on it, but it fights to keep it up and level. But down here we have a wall of equipment, as well as a couple seats for anyone we need to pick up, and a little medical bay down here with 2 beds, just in case anyone needs any medical attention. And of course the entire ship is, it has specific lights for each room that you can control, like this button right here. So I will actually turn that on now. And now we have the main living area for the crew, equipped with a TV, surround sound of course, as well as a kitchen and dining area. And if we want to make anything, we can turn on the oven and the stove as well, with like that reddish purple light almost there. But looks like we didn't stock the fridge up yet. Anyway, we also have the crew quarters, consisting of 6 beds and that little light switch over there. as well as the bathroom over here with 2 stalls and 2 showers for the crew, as well as 2 sinks in here, and light controls like usual. And then at the end of the hall, the front of the ship here, we have the captain's quarter with a double bed, not a vanity, but a dresser here, and his or her own private bathroom with a sink, toilet, and a nice and large tub here that I guess they could, chill out on? I don't know. Chill out in, not on. I don't know why you'd be standing on a tub. But down below here we have light control for engineering room here. And of course we have all the controls for our jet engines right next to, as well as a couple of values run next to them. And we have all the controls for both diesel engines down here as well. And then, just in case we have an engineer running all of these, and we have warning lights to say if the engine power and engine component power is on or off. So if somebody does switch, excuse my voice, it's kind of, I've been sick recently. Anyway, we can tell if the power is on or off for them there. So let's go out and we can go and explore more past the back of the ship here. We have our cargo bay here, which has ample room for anything we need to put up, and a shelf as well down there. And of course we have lighting, but we don't need to turn that on. There seems to be a decent amount of light around here. And this is the main control room for all of the tanks. And as you can see, we have 10 individual tanks with all of the valve and pump controls here, as well as the main pump control for all the pumps on the surface of this. So whenever you need to bring in some fluids or pump out fluids, you're going to have to go to that office down there and either talk to the engineer that's running that, or I guess do it yourself if you're running low on crew members. But now we can go to the main holding area, and all of these do only have one fluid meter, but it tells you exactly how much fluid is in all of these. And of course you can check out all the pipes as well, make sure they are fine. But yeah, this is like the big warehouse for storing all of our things. And it looks like I'm missing a block in the floor. I'm not exactly sure why I'm missing a block, but it's not sinking us. That actually might make the buoyancy a little bit better due to I've heard before, I don't know if you guys know about this or not, or have disproved or proved it, but somebody told me a little while ago if you combine air pockets, then you actually get better buoyancy for your ships, which I honestly don't know if that's true or not. So maybe I'll have to test it out sometime and see if that actually works. But we're gonna go back up to our engineering, not the engineering, the control room. We're gonna throw all of our diesel throttles as well. Maybe we'll give it some electric throttle as well and get us started and moving out here, because I do want to throw a couple storms at it. Then again, it is a huge tanker, so it is pretty heavy, and the waves do crash over it here. So hopefully we shouldn't have any problems with any storms here, but you never know. Let's turn on our running and exterior lights as well as the control room lights. I do have to take a once I turn on the electrical engine throttle, I have to keep a good eye on that power. But for now, we're going to leave it off. We are moving pretty fast so far, and let's see what the weather does on us. Alright, so the weather is getting pretty bad out here already. We're not getting any death warnings or anything. It looks like the ship is actually, part of it's above the, there we go, now we're going down. This is a little bit of a confusing depth meter here. The red is the depth of the ocean under you, the sand basically at the bottom, and the black number there is the depth of the hull there. And I forgot to convert that over, so that is one thing I do have to switch for the workshop version of this as well. So I will do that before I actually put out this video today. But yeah, it's not too bad in the waves, actually. I don't know, this is like 90% waves at the moment, 87%. We can push it to 100% waves. And of course, since the tanker has so much weight on it, we are carrying close to, I think it's a little bit over 300,000 liters of fuel in here. At the moment, 300,000 liters of fuel. It is handling the waves pretty well. I'm not getting too much water on the deck or anywhere on here, but we'll see how that happens, or see how that goes as we move along here. But I do also want to test it up against the tsunami, so let's see how that goes now. Alright, the tsunami has been called, and we are currently creating an earthquake under the sea now. And it seems like the active stabilization is doing a decent job so far with keeping us up here. And I'm looking out for that tsunami so we don't get blindsided by it, basically. Holy cow, we are getting a little bit of rolling here going. We're not actually hitting the waves at a good angle though, so if I do turn us into the waves here. Where's the tsunami? The fog is really... Okay, I think it's to our left there, to the port, I believe. A little bit to the port. We actually don't have any of our radars running. We're getting a port warning. I believe that's because we were angled so far. And what does our depth look like? We actually have a 70 depth now. That's pretty good. But we are being tossed around by these waves. This thing probably weighs maybe 1,000 tons or something. I actually don't know. I wonder how much an actual tanker does weigh. Because they have to have, I mean, a fully loaded tanker. Oh, this is a problem. We're going to get rolled over end by end here by this tsunami. Oh, great. Alright, here goes nothing. Alright, we're going up. We're doing pretty... Oh, that's not good. Get to the captain's chair. Okay, we're live. We're doing pretty good. Ooh, smashed down. We got a little bit of water on the front here. A little bit more than I'd like, actually. Okay, we're still fine. We're still fine. Yep, we got our running lights and everything going on here. Let's see. Alright, so how are our engines doing? We can actually push our speed a little bit more here. We do have a couple more gearboxes and that electrical engine throttle, but we are going to have to get these guys started so that we don't run out of power here. And let's get a little bit more gears in here. We're actually moving pretty well. 12 almost on there. Oof. Waves are pushing me around though. We are not like... Is that water coming out of my cargo bay? That's not good news. Let's go check on that real quick. Make sure nothing is going on too bad down here. That is not good at all. Houston, we have a... Oh, it's gonna bring me into there. I'm surprised the water's not coming through here. I do apologize because those jets are so loud. Let me actually go turn them off as well as that electric engines so I don't have to run the jets, but hopefully that doesn't become a big problem. Oh, I need to turn those off. We need to turn off third gear if we're not running the electric engines. We are like straight up. What the... Are we sinking? Wait a minute, what just happened? Are we... Oh... crap. Okay, well I guess it's good that we put a few diving suits in here. How is the water... Okay, now it's pouring into here as well. Did it get down to engineering yet? Is it pouring into... Okay, it's not pouring into engineering, but it looks like... Have we sunken it? No, we can't have sunken it. Okay, this room is completely underwater now. Is this the only room underwater, though? Yeah, it is the only. I have so many more air pockets. How is this the only room underwater and we're sinking? Well, I guess I just sunk my brand new ship. That's a problem. What was it, the tsunami? Dang! Alright, so we are going to have to abandon ship here. Leave it to the fishies. I actually want to see, would fish actually swim through it? It's kind of cool though that it's still lit underwater here. Like all the lights and everything are happening, but yeah, dang. If you guys were wondering, I know that this cargo bay door is inefficient due to, well, it's not inefficient, it technically doesn't seal. Even though I have a sealer on both sides of the door, the teeth design that I did, it doesn't actually seal when you close the doors, because I have it as two doors on the one large hole at the top there, so it technically doesn't seal, and I knew it was going to sink once I threw it at the tsunami. Once you get enough water into that through this middle part, it is going to start sinking. And actually, this is my personal version 2 of this ship. I do have a version 3.0, SS Tinon version 3, and basically the only change I did between the 2 and the 3 is I made 2 separate doors that are completely lockable, so this ship is, in theory, unsinkable. I hesitate to say that now because people are going to tell me they sunk it or something, but yeah, the door will never be a problem with the version 3, and the version 3 is the one I did put on the workshop, and it's a little disheartening that I couldn't make the teeth design work out, but in the end, it's still pretty cool. I mean, I've got 2 large cargo bay doors, so I can load anything I need into there with the crane here as well. But yeah, that was the SS Tinon. And yeah, I was planning to sink version 2 there. Meh, for the fun of it. That's pretty fun to do. But anyway, yeah, this one I hope it shouldn't sink. I actually haven't tested it out against a tsunami or anything, but I assume since this room, because this room is my main buoyancy, or it has a lot of my main buoyancy for the ship, if that doesn't get filled with water, then we shouldn't sink against a tsunami, so it should be fine, yeah. And the last thing I do want to show off, let's get some blinky lights on here. Oh, it needs helipad power. Derp. Yeah, let's get some blinky lights on here for the ship. Alright guys, I'm currently standing on the helipad of the SS Tinon, and we have that nice blue blinking on and off, and you can see all the collision sensors going off there in the control room as well. So I do have 1 or 2 things to fix on this for the workshop design, so I will get onto that and fix them. But anyways, of course, if you guys do want to pick it up, you can go and grab that. Of course, I will leave a link for it down in the description down below. So if you guys like this episode, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel to stay up with Stormworks and more of my content. But I've never been great at goodbyes, my people need me, and I need to go.